If your eyelid is veiny or maybe it's just discolored and you want to even that out, and of course you also want your eyeshadow to look at its best, then our tinted eye primer is perfect either to wear by itself as a beautiful nude, muting out all those irregularities to the skin, or it makes your eyeshadow more intense when you place it on. So a little bit of the tinted eye primer onto your finger or a brush. You don't need too much of it. We'll just even out that skin and just blend it right in the corner. And you can see it's just given a nice nude look. You'll see this vein here neutralized. Bit of psoriasis under my brow. Just help cover that up a little bit. Perfect, so that's the tinted eye primer. It looks gorgeous by itself. You could set that down with our base eyeshadow, which is another beautiful nude. I'm going to show you how you can actually just enhance your eyes really simply with one of our crayons as well. So any of the eye crayons you could do this with, just pick a color that you're happy to wear. The lighter colors, of course, are going to be easier to start with, but I'm going to show you the Smokey Quartz. Of course, you can see it's one of my favorite colors because it's quite short. Now, placing a little bit just on the top lash line, just here, and into the crease of my eye. Don't worry about this part, just get it on there. And put a bit more on than what you're comfortable with, because once you start blending it, it's going to look a lot less intense. You can see already without blending it, it just gives a bit of shape. So if you wanted to, you could put this over the whole eye and blend it into an eyeshadow. That's fine. I just like to concentrate on the outer part of my eye. I just feel like it makes my eyes look larger. Bringing in a darker shade to the middle makes my eyes look closer set, smaller, and especially as I'm getting older, I'm just all about the lift. Okay, so I'm putting in that Smokey Quartz. And again, as I said, you can wear this by itself, or you can then use this as a base to popping an eyeshadow over the top to really intensify your eyes. So if you're wanting a really natural looking eye, then going with just the loose eyeshadows or a lighter eyeshadow is the way to go. But when you're really wanting to intensify the pigments, using a cream based product like the tinted eye primer or one of the chubby crayons first will attach to the eyeshadow, giving really intense pigment. It also makes it easier to blend because that cream's giving it a bit more flexibility so that you're blending it a lot easier. Okay, so grabbing one of the dome brushes, again, the longer ones are going to give you more of a natural blend. The shorter ones are going to keep it more concentrated. So I'm using a longer dome brush. And you'll notice that I'm not really moving it beyond where the color is. I'm just a little bit back and forth, kind of tapping onto that area. I haven't really changed where it is. I've just tapped and blended the color, so I'm happy with it. Okay, don't worry about these seams where you can see the edging. We'll get rid of that in a moment. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so again, I'm just patting, kind of sweeping, but more patting. The crayons are just awesome for those of you that are a little bit more of a novice or time poor. Okay, perfect. Happy with the depth of color. Now what I'm going to do is just grab a clean brush that's really long. This is my favorite blending brush. I always keep one of these clean because I use it at the very end to blend my eye makeup seamlessly. So all I do is just tickle those seams. You could see where there was a difference between the two shades. That's what I refer to as a seam. And I'm just blending it outwards because I don't want to bring the colour over here. I want to keep it in that crease. So I'm blending it out. Look at that. Looks like I've spent hours blending. If you do this with the brush that you use to blend the colour, you're only blending the colour over here, giving more of a murky look, and that's when you start to look like you've got, you know, a really tired looking eye, or you look like you've been punched in the face because it's just too diluted and you've dragged the colour where you just don't want it. Okay, so now I'm using it just to get rid of this seam, which you can see between my crease of my eye and the top part of my eye. Gone. This one, gone. Hours of blending there in 2 seconds. Now, if you blend your product too far down, okay, what I want you to do is grab a cotton tip and just gently sweep up like this to get away that excess. Just get rid of that excess. And then what you can do is grab your concealer with, say, the number 10 brush, just a small amount. So this is another little corrective thing that I do, is you just sweep it up like that. You only want a little bit. And look, it instantly, I've got to blend that a bit, but it instantly gives a lift to the face and corrects if you've made, because you don't want your eye makeup to go down beyond the edge of your eye because it's going to give a droopy look to the eye. So I do that as a quick line like this, and then I just use my finger again to blend away that obvious seam, and then I've corrected any of that product that's been blended below the area I wanted. So there you go. There's how to do a really quick, easy, beautiful eye. This is quite glamorous. You could also wear it during the day, and again, if you use one of the softer colors like you've got your amethyst or some of the other colors which will just be a little bit softer, beautiful.